Okay.
We had a house on Howard Street, a two-story house where we lived. It was given to us, I'm pretty sure, by my grandparents. Next door was the house where Tom and Ole lived, my uncles.
Mm-hmm.
And down the street, on the other side of the street, was a house that my grandparents lived in, 983 East Howard Street. This was in Altadena, California, which is just the upper end of Pasadena on the San Gabriel slope. Uh, we were on a very slanted one, so it was a steep drive up Lake Avenue to get to our house. I'm telling you this because it kind of explains how we get to Flintridge. You would head away from our house, go down the arroyo where the Rose Bowl lived, and up the other side where there was a hill. Actually, there were two sections. There was Flintridge and La Cañada. La Cañada, I have a picture of it somewhere here, was a lower level and drier. Flintridge was a hill with lots of trees on it, and whereas my neighborhood was a house with just a lot of other houses, Flintridge was a house with a lot of space. So each house had a great yard around it. You drove through winding roads up to get to my grandmother's house and came to a gate, opened the gate, which was sometimes locked, and drove up a curling driveway to get to the house.
How'd they lock it?
Betty came down to the gate and locked and unlocked it herself.
So it was like a padlock?
There was a padlock,
Okay.
right. This is a picture of La Cañada, the lower end.
And what's that one of?
This is my house, the fireplace in my house on Howard Street. When you got inside the gate, you went up a curving driveway like this. You couldn't see the end of it. You curved and curved. Here people are on the driveway. And again on the great oval driveway. And you parked, and then one of those pictures has a car parked about where it is, and you ended up at a porch, the front porch to the Flintridge house. Oh, I forgot this. Here's some people walking on the other part of the arch of the oval. And we spent a lot of time in fine weather on the porch.
Now, who are these people here?
I'll have to look again. Okay, I'm holding the baby. That has to be Richard, and Sharon is standing behind.
Okay.
Next to the porch was another lawn adjacent to the curve of the oval there. And here are some people standing on that part of the lawn. I'm showing off babies there to Grandma and Grandpa.
Now, how old are you on this one with the babies? 29?
Let me see.
No, yeah, about 29.
When was Jim was born? I'll have to tell you later. I'm not good with dates. Well, there's a date on the back. Oh no, it just doesn't give the year though.
Well, if they were born in 56 and 57,
Yeah.
so that's 58. 58's the year.
Here's the pool we swam in behind the house. I searched and searched, and I couldn't find many interiors, but I haven't finished searching. Here are Grandma and Grandpa at one end. They're at the end of the living room, and the living room had a door. Where is it? Let me put the door behind the drapes, which went to a covered portico and the driveway had split. There was an oval here, and the driveway went up to the back end of the lot, a long way back up where the garages were and a back gate. And here are my grandma and grandpa, Grandma Edna, and Tracy Williams. I thought he was a handsome old dude. As you went from the porch, went in, there was a big entry hall. And facing you across the entry hall was a curved, well, not curved, was a stairway landing, 2 or 3, 4 steps up. Then it turned at right angle and went quite a few more steps that way and turned again and went up to the second level. At the second landing, there was a little cubby hole, which David and I used to spend time in. You could crawl in there, and there was just room for 2. And now that I think about it, it was terribly claustrophobic, but we didn't mind that for some reason at our age. We once took candles in, and in latter years, I have thought back to that and thought, my word, that would have been a nice way to end the days.
Ouch. Yeah.
The house would have went up like tinder, you know. It was an old house. The house is gone now. Somebody raised it, somebody burned it. I really think it was the ghoul who did that, because she leaped up and got a lamp out of it. And I think somehow the wiring went amiss. At any rate, upstairs, you would turn to the left and go down to the end of the house over the portico, and there was Grandpa's suite. He had a big bedroom, which I got a glimpse of once. It was a very private area. But I went into his bathroom once because I had to take a shower there for some reason, and it had tile flooring, and it was a death trap because it was very slippery indeed. It was the old-fashioned tile work, beautiful. In between his bedroom on the one end and the other end of the hall was a room that Grandma used as a sewing room, and we used to convene there once in a while. She had bolts and bolts of material and so forth, and a sewing bee would happen. Not very often, but once in a while, and I would sit in. There was a curio cabinet in there with all kinds of beautiful little things in it, all of which I coveted. I don't know where they are nowadays. Across from that, overlooking the pool, was kind of a upstairs garden room, and that's where Grandma slept. It was screened in, and like the old house on Howard Street, where she also slept in a screened-in porch, Grandma liked the outside air.
Were there sliding doors in this house?
There were sliding doors when you went into the entryway and looked to your right to go into the living room. There were sliding glass doors there. Yes. Those are the only sliding doors, I think.
And when you walked in, was there the staircase right there when you immediately walked in?
It was across.
Okay.
It was a large room. The entryway was you could have, it was at least as big as this area here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then did the stairs go straight back, or did they curl around, or how did they go?
The stairs, as you walked in the door, the first landing was there, up a few steps. You turned right and went up quite a few steps. Turned left then.
Yeah.
And went up to the second floor. So it was not curved in that sense. It was, geometrically turned.
Yeah. And then was there a balcony, a walkway you could look down, or did it go into a different?
Yes, you could. When you got to the top, you could turn around. There was a banister there, and you could look down below. Right. Down below was a table. I think it contained a lamp. I didn't pay much attention to the table, but it was there. I think that's where the Christmas tree sat, in that area there when we had Christmas. And then back to the entryway, you could look to a little hallway there. You could also look to, those were glass doors too, to the dining area, uh, which was very large, with a huge table there. And beyond that, through windows, was a secondary breakfast uh, entryway with a wrought iron table, gorgeous thing, with an oval cutout at the bottom where you could put potted plants if you wanted to. So those were the two eating areas. And there was a hallway and a dishwashing area, all kind of off where always the fine glassware was washed. And then the regular kitchen area again was the sink and where the cooking went on. And when I was young, there was a cook there. Lob Singh was his name. And when we were seated at table on special dinners, Grandma would pick up her little crystal bell and ring for Lob Singh, and he would come and do whatever she wanted done.